Welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, your home for discussions and debates about all things animation. Each week, we'll rank, review, and revel in animated shows from yesterday and today, and from around the world. So grab your Acme slingshot, set your mobile suit to autopilot, and put on your mouse ears. The Animation Station Podcast begins now.
Yeah. You got this, bro.
Finally figured out. Took a long time.
Let's see how much you know.
Who is this? Fastball?
Sister Hazel.
Sister Hazel.
'Cause I'm down. I'm so confused.
Oh, I was going to do that part.
Oh, you do. I just can't turn and walk away.
Hard to say what it is I see in you. It's a great song, man. What made you think of that?
This was the song I meant. I meant Semi Charmed Kind of Life. That one I love. I love it. Freaking Third Eye Blind. It's so stupid.
Of Paycom prom fame?
Oh, they were a Paycom prom.
That's hilarious. That's funny. So
how was Disney?
Dude, Disneyland was awesome. I had a great time. It was a weird...
I'm kidding all that in there.
...pocket of slow time. So the crowd levels were really awesome when I was there. So not a lot of wait times, not a lot of bottlenecks to get through. It was awesome. I had a good time.
Nice.
And I had a Dole Whip.
Oh,
it was delicious.
I still have not had one.
Yeah, I know. You haven't been there. You will in July. We'll make sure that you get a Dole Whip.
I want a Dole. I don't like pineapples or ice cream.
Oh, then you don't want a Dole Whip.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, good. Yeah, dude, they're delicious. You can have them as like a soft serve or like a float. And
I don't like floats.
Get the soft serve then.
Yeah.
It's nice that they have choices.
I want to go.
You should.
From my Coca-Cola.
Delicious.
All right.
So yeah, Disneyland was great, but because of it, I haven't been here recording with you forever.
You missed
so long.
You missed our AKIRA episode, which was our longest episode ever.
It really was.
Because I think we had one previously that was like an hour and 40.
Yeah, but not only did you guys all three ramble forever, you also did a top 10 instead of a top 5.
That was like 50 minutes.
So it was epic. But it was good. I listened to the whole thing. You guys were awesome. I was a little disappointed that nobody...
Hold on. Here's the thing. We're going to get your review here in just 1 second.
All right,
because welcome to the Animation Station Podcast, episode 41.
Yeah, AniMay episode number 2.
My name is Josh.
I'm Gavin.
That's all I got. That's all the energy.
It's
everything.
A great energy.
I'm still trying to...
Is it all going to go downhill from here?
Well, I'm trying to come back up from the sadness that I watched earlier.
Oh, poor little Josh.
But anyway, what's Gavin, AKIRA, because apparently we suck.
No, you don't suck. You guys talked about the story and kind of the history of AKIRA and the impact of it and how it's this iconic anime that stands, in many ways above most other feature anime. But nobody really discussed the artwork in that film, and I think that you can't talk about AKIRA without talking about the artwork. So I just want to say that it is beautiful. It's a gorgeously animated film. The action in it is astounding. Like, just watching them zip around on those bikes is amazing. But to me, when I think of AKIRA, I think of cityscapes. And the cityscapes that they show in that movie are just phenomenal. All the pans of what is it called? Neo Tokyo? So they call it?
It's just Tokyo.
Or is it just Tokyo?
Oh, no, as it is Neo Tokyo.
I think it's Neo Tokyo, right? And just all the blue and purple light coming out of it. And I think it's fantastic. All the set design in that is great. Everywhere you go in the city, it's full of detail. and beautiful compositions in those frames. And I just think you guys needed to talk about that a little more. So I wanted to jump in real quick and give my 2 cents on that. Are you still looking something up?
Yeah. Thanks for calling me out on that, bro.
Yeah. Get off your phone and get on the podcast.
All right. What do we have?
Good.
Any news-wise? I'm not sure what's...
I mean, since the last time I was on, a new Cars 3 trailer came out.
Now, we do have an interview with
it was awesome. And it inspired me to, this morning, watch Cars. Because I love Cars. And
did it also inspire you to call in sick?
No, I called in sick because I was sick, Josh. And while I was sick, I decided
While you were sick, you decided to make yourself even more ill?
Heal myself with the power of Pixar. And I was moved all over again by the magic of Cars. I'm beyond excited that we're almost to the 1 month mark.
It's hard to say what it is I see in you.
Okay, Sister
I
Hazel.
wonder if I'll always... No. But we do have not really anything new, really not a lot. We didn't really get anything from Disney.
Well,
we didn't get anything from
Cloud City Cast announced all those date changes. Do we want to talk about
that was 2 weeks ago.
It was. I'm still catching up on podcasts from being out of town so much lately.
Yeah,
I was disappointed though that they pushed back Gigantic, right? Isn't it pushed back like a full year?
Now.
Jeez, that's
it was
the one I was
supposed to be 2018. Well, it was apparently supposed to be this year.
Yeah,
and then they moved it to 2018, and then they're like, 2020, the world should be over by then. 2020 it is.
I feel like they announced it at the 2013 D23 Expo.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long
No,
time.
yeah, because you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they first announced it, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, like
it was definitely at
2013.
least 2 years ago.
It might have been the 2015 one, but I feel like it was longer. In any case, I was disappointed to hear that, but there are a lot of good things on the horizon.
Yeah, there is Digimon Adventure Tri. The Blu-ray is coming out Friday, May 16th.
Have you seen that?
Yes, that's the one I saw in theaters.
Okay.
That's the one that had Joshua Seth and all of the...
Oh, that's right.
All the cast, and I cried during it because the nostalgia hit me in the gut.
Yeah, but I'm starting to wonder which movies you don't cry at this point.
Didn't cry during AKIRA.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't cry during Summer Wars.
Shocks me.
There's one emotional scene, but I'm also kind of like...
On the Blu-ray for Wolf Children that you have, it has the trailer for it, and I remembered so much about it, because for whatever reason I forgot.
Oh, you mean the Digimon movie?
No, the Summer Wars movie.
Yeah, the Digimon movie?
Yeah, is it like Digimon?
Dude, remember we watched it.
No, I know, but I've never seen anything of Digimon.
Okay, this is
I've
what
never
we'll
seen
do.
a second.
This
of
is
Digimon.
what we do for Summer Wars.
Okay,
we'll watch Summer Wars, and then I'm going to show you the second part of the Digimon movie.
Like you'll fast forward to halfway through.
Yeah, it's weird because they have a part 1, a part 2, a part 3.
Oh,
we'll go to part 2 of the
like
Digimon
hockey.
movie.
So it's like hockey.
Yeah, we're going to go to the third. We're going to the second period.
Okay, got it.
And you'll watch that, and you'll be like, "Oh, it's the same movie."
Are the Digimon on the power play at that point? Sorry, hockey.
Anyway, we also this Friday we also have our interview with Jade Saxton.
Yeah.
Well, my interview with Jade
Saxton.
Interview,
yeah, which I'm sure you did.
You were
phenomenally.
in Disney again.
I think I was.
Because this was a long time ago. This would have been back in March or February or March when we did this one.
I went in March.
Yeah, so it was a while ago that we did this.
Wait, no. When is it right now? It's May. I went in April, and then I went in January. Was the time before that?
It would have been in April. It would have been in April then.
Okay, I may have been
like the first part
else.
of April, maybe.
I may have been in Dallas then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I was at my parents' house.
But yeah, that comes out, and she actually voices
the girl, the daughter, and I can't remember her name. We just watched it today.
Not Yume.
Yuki, yeah.
Yuki.
She was awesome, and I actually forgot.
And she's the narrator the whole entire time too, which I thought was cool.
Oh, I didn't know she was the narrator.
That's her
too.
voice. Yeah, it's Jade.
That makes sense. And what's funny is I had forgotten that it was Jade Saxton. I knew she was coming up on our next interview. I'd forgotten that it was her, and when the credits rolled, I was like, that was her. She was amazing.
I had to leave during the credits.
She did a fantastic job, like really good. Mm-hmm. That was great.
Yeah, it was great. I had to leave because I had to splash cold water in my face.
Mm-hmm.
But
For tear removal?
For tear removal. But strangely, you've found this out too. We have no cold water. We have only hot water.
So weird. The hot water tap, like when you turn that knob, it comes out full strength. When you turn the cold water knob, it's a trickle and it's hot.
Yeah.
Your plumbing is messed up, dude.
Very bizarre. I should go
messed up.
downstairs. Oh, I wonder if our downstairs they have the same problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume they're all in the same pipes.
Would think.
I don't know, though.
Anyway, okay, so let's go ahead and talk about our movie this week, which was we watched Wolf Children.
Mm-hmm. And one of us watched it through a veil of tears, apparently.
Only towards the end.
Okay.
The Japanese, well, it's a 2012 anime film by Mamoru Hosoda.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing like 17 of his movies.
Well, he did Summer Wars, and then
Wars,
what is the other one? Boy and the Beast. Yep. Oh, this guy's a genius. He's becoming one of my favorite directors.
And Girl Hold Up Through Time. That's also his.
Oh, I've been wanting to see that one too. Yeah,
it's on my my Amazon Prime thing.
Oh, cool.
To just buy it, but I've been lazy. The Japanese is.
Good luck.
Lord help me.
I wish you luck.
Okami. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Okami Kodamo no Ame to Yuki.
So what is that? 5 words?
Which is 1, 4, 6. Which translates just to Wolf Children, Ami and Yuki.
Oh, their names are. I got it. I missed that. Okay.
But it's easier to do Wolf Children.
Yeah, we tend to want to change titles like that, like the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. A little bit of backstory. Hosoda created Studio Chizu for basically to create this movie. Mm-hmm. He created his own studio to create this. He had previously done Summer Wars, which is pretty much just a Madhouse production.
Oh, okay.
But what he did was, with this one, he actually co-produced the film with his studio and Madhouse. So they actually co-produced the film.
Okay. Why did he do that? Did he need more control? Or?
Well, I think so. I mean, because this way he has full creative authority on everything that he can do.
Because Summer Wars is out there with creativity.
Yeah, but Summer Wars is again very much like the Digimon movie.
Yeah,
because he did the Digimon movie well beforehand.
Oh, he did the Digimon.
He did the Digimon movie. So that bit is the Digimon movie is basically a precursor.
So it's almost like he wanted to explore that idea more, but he couldn't do it in the Digimon universe. So
exactly,
he wanted to
because you don't have a lot of freedom with that, because you have to go with like Digimon constraints and everything.
That's fascinating.
The lore that's already there. Mm-hmm. But with this, he can go off and do whatever he wants with Summer Wars.
Right.
And that was extremely popular. So then he created this, which became even more popular. This actually passed Summer Wars for his highest-grossing film.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And Boy and the Beast was before both of them.
No, Boy and the Beast was after.
After?
Yes.
And that didn't beat Wolf Children?
I didn't check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have the Boy and the Beast numbers.
Okay.
But it was the second highest grossing film in Japan. Its opening weekend. Would you like to know what movie it beat out its opening? Same opening weekend as something that came out of Pixar back in 2012.
Oh gosh.
Something that you really like.
Hang on, 2012. Would that be Cars 2? Oh, Brave.
Beat out Brave. Opening weekend.
Okay.
And it totaled during its
box
office.
It beat out Brave in Japan.
In Japan.
Okay.
And total for its box office run, it made 4.2 billion yen, making it the fifth highest grossing movie in Japan in all of 2012.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. Just think of the movies.
I feel like their animated movies tend to stand up to their live action movies more strongly than ours do.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Unless it's something coming out of Disney. But I mean, I doubt you'll ever see anything from, like, unfortunately, we both love Laika, but I don't think anything from Laika will ever be the number one movie opening weekend.
I don't know.
Unless nothing comes out that weekend.
I think they're on the track to be able to pull that off in the future. I really do.
Maybe in the future.
Now, they won't be able to open up the same weekend as
anything huge.
DreamWorks or Disney right now.
Yeah, that would be that. Seriously, that's a brand new animation studio. Even though Madhouse has done plenty of other things.
I wonder if anything on the opening weekend of Brave beat Brave in Scotland. It had to be the number one movie in Scotland.
Anything
right?
with Ewan McGregor. If Ewan McGregor was in the movie, he beat it. If they would have done like a re-release of Trainspotting, like a double feature of Trainspotting and The Phantom Menace, then it would have like killed Brave.
Nice. I prefer Shallow Grave. Have you seen that one?
I've not seen Shallow Grave.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Animation wise, what did you? So this is my. Honestly, I think this is only my second time seeing the movie.
Yeah, you told me you couldn't watch it again.
Yeah,
I
bought it the first time. Couldn't watch it again. Couldn't watch it again until now.
Right.
It's kind of like the same thing with Angel Beats.
Mm-hmm.
I watched about a third of Angel Beats on, I think, may have been Netflix at the time. So I went ahead and bought it.
What's Angel Beats?
It's an anime.
Oh.
It's great anime. Maybe you'll watch it sometime. But I watched about a third of it, then bought it because I liked it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it all. I don't think I've gotten through the end again. There's a point where I stop because I can't take it anymore. Like it's too painful to watch. And if you've seen Angel Beats, you know the part. Once he starts figuring everything out, that's where I can't watch anymore. And yeah,
it's funny.
It's definitely it gets you.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it because
That's
I
awesome.
get right to it, and then I'm like, oh no. The
No.
little pink haired girl, and I'm like, oh god, I can't do it. It hurts too much inside.
Nice. Well, I got to tell you, I really did enjoy this movie. I found the story really, really gripping, and it's such an interesting, unique take on the werewolf concept.
Yeah.
They basically tell you a couple times in there that kind of the iconography and mythology of werewolves as monsters and villains is not right, and they're really just half wolf, half people, and they deal with those different instincts, and it affects their personality, and they can kind of almost choose which path they want to be on, whether they want to be on more of a human path or more of a wolf path, or somewhere in between. And I found that really interesting. I mean, they did it way better than Twilight did. And
I guys didn't say that, so all hate mail should be directed towards Gavin Audison.
Yeah, Team Edward. And they really do a good job of setting it up as like believable. Like It's so weird. The Japanese approach to these animated films is so fascinating to me because I've said this before. They like to root it in an actual real life believable place, a city there's no fantasy to it. There's one element that's fantasy, and it's just the fact that there's this one dude that's also part-time a wolf, and that's it. And so
he works odd jobs like a mover,
he's like a delivery guy.
I'm also a wolf that kills a pheasant and brings it home.
Exactly. And so they do this great job of, whenever I watch one of their movies, there's this sense of, oh, well, this could happen to me. So you can escape into it almost more than you can like Aladdin or some really fantastical Disney movie that's so far out there you can't picture yourself in that. But in these Japanese movies like this, and Boy and the Beast, and Your Name, and even AKIRA, you can kind of picture yourself there because they look like real
it's like
things
a
that we
city,
recognize. Yeah, and this does it so beautifully. And the artwork, I talked about the cityscapes in AKIRA, and I feel like they do a fantastic job in this as well. Just all the detail, when she's in the city. We'll
go into the artwork here. Like, let's finish up on story.
Okay, yeah.
And then we can go into artwork, because
I'm kind of surprised at how much this movie kind of moves you, not because of the content that it hits in the story, but because this to me is a classic slow burn.
It is.
It takes its sweet time getting where it wants to go. I like that. I really enjoy that, but I'm surprised you're not twiddling your thumbs half the time.
Honestly, that's what I like. Well, the thing is, the characters invest you, like, from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, you're automatically... You get invested with Hana, like, almost from the beginning.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we have the narration the whole time, knowing that this is your main character. Because you say, this is the story of my mom. Which, is great, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Yuki telling the story of her mom the whole entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising how much emotion and depth you can get when you really just... It's basically just someone reading the book to you. It's like if I was to read you this script.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what Yuki's doing from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like that would be interesting, but... I mean, with like the dialogue and just the character progression throughout, all the struggles that Hana goes through, you feel for her, and so this whole time you're like, how is she going to do this? How is she going to raise these two wolf kids?
Right.
Like, it's really, I mean, like you said, it is a slow burn, but I like what they do in the story because like at the beginning it's. Yuki, she totally wants to be wolf, totally fine, crazy little girl, everything, and Ame's just like he's kind of sickly.
Yeah.
And then
there's the runt of the pack.
Exactly. And then even when we get into, when they move finally and get into the countryside, Yuki's still running around crazy, doing all this stuff, going to preschool, all this wants to go to preschool and all this jazz, and Ame's just like, why do everybody hate wolves?
Yeah. Like
why can't we go home? Doesn't understand.
Right.
Then there's this, he has that near-death experience, and then it completely swaps.
Yeah.
Which, really cute. It's almost classic, like something that you would expect to happen as these two characters grow up. Like moods and personalities change. Right. But I'm just rambling here. It's being really bizarre.
No, you're good. I'm following you exactly.
Yeah, and so like it tells you like these kids are growing up this whole entire time, and like I said, like with the personality swaps, and then the choices that Yuki makes, the choices that Ami makes, the choices that Hana has to make, it's really touching. Like, and like I said, I'm a sucker for a good story.
Oh yeah,
and this story is really great.
It's a really good story, and I like the story of the kids. I find it less of a personality swap. And I find it more of, they learn what these things mean. Yeah. So when Yuki is a girl, she just likes the way it feels to be able to run wild as a wolf. But then when she gets older, she starts to get invested in, the human social circle. And then for Ami, when he's young, he's kind of afraid of this wolfness, and he's afraid of what that means within society and all this other stuff. And once he comes to terms with that and comes to this understanding of, oh, this is what it is to be a wolf, then he embraces it. And, so him embracing the wolf side as he grew older was very different than the way she was embracing the wolf side, because it was just much more of a frivolous, I'm a little kid, I want to do what I want to do thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I liked the way that they did that and had them choose their own paths. I never expected that to be what was going to happen. Like, I never would have guessed that in a million years. For me, that was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed that. So, let's talk about the heavy moment in the middle of this film when the father meets his end.
I wouldn't even say the middle of this film.
I guess it's in the first third.
Yeah.
It's a good ways in, but I was shocked at that when it happened. I was like, wait, that's gonna happen right now? Right now, that's gonna happen. And I was like, whoa.
It also makes you think, what happens if they would have moved to the countryside?
Yeah.
When the kids were born?
They could have done that, yeah.
It would have been so much better for everybody.
I agree. But that his story is that, his parents died, and he kind of he went into a family's home, and then basically his escape was to go to the big city and kind of blend in and disappear. So, that kind of drove their decision to stay.
That's when he was
and that's
alone.
where they started their life.
Yeah, that's when he was a lone wolf, though. But then he got a family.
Right.
It would have been better. But yeah, again, that's kind of what
to me,
that's nitpicky.
Man, what they did is so brutal, because to her, that's her husband,
and
her soulmate. To them, it's roadkill that they put in a bag and throw in a freaking garbage truck.
It's so bad.
And she tries to chase it down, and then she just breaks down in the rain, and you're like, wow,
it's one of those
heavy.
Hold on, guys.
That is
that's
heavy.
Not that seems like that should be dumped with medical waste. If anything, so. I don't think you don't throw an animal that big. If you ran over a German Shepherd, you wouldn't just put it in a garbage tin.
I don't know what happens to those things. Do you? Like,
No.
Does animal control come get it?
I would assume animal control comes and get it and disposes of it.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen roadkill being removed from the road.
No, yeah, because I mean, like, what happens when somebody hits a deer on the side of the road?
Yeah, I've never seen it being cleaned up.
I would assume an animal came and, like, dragged it off. It's like, rawr.
So what do you think happened? Do you think it happened like the same way that it happened to Ami, where he was going after, because he had feathers on him. Was he going after a kill and he ended up just drowning in that water?
I don't know. That water's not
Was it an
deep.
accident or was it suicide?
I don't think it was suicide.
Like, that's the thing that
I think maybe he may have gotten hit by a car.
Maybe.
Like coming
and
home,
launched
maybe.
him over that fence into that canal?
Yeah.
I guess. That's the thing that I didn't like. That's the
It's
one
totally
criticism
ambiguous.
I
Well,
have
that's
about this
like- well,
movie
that's
is that
like-
I want to know how and why he died.
Well, here's the thing. That's like if you see a dog on the side of the road, you're like, what happened? Like,
but he wasn't on the side of the road. Like, he was in an area next to the road, but it was over a fence and down in a canal.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, when 90% of the time when something gets hit, it's on the side of the road.
Right.
So it's one of those, like, momentum and force is
Yeah.
going to propel the object.
I could see that happening. I could see it.
Now, one part that I thought was a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
This may be crude, but
Okay.
here's the thing.
The first time they do
When they
it, when
have
he's a
their
wolf.
first time together, it's like
I knew you were gonna
she's
say
totally human, and he's like,
wolfed out.
he's like, rawr, and I'm like, how you? Okay,
Oh, man.
I mean, furry stuff.
That's
mean,
when she goes
right on,
full
bro. I
Team
watched
Jacob.
that CSI episode. I mean, you do you. I mean, yipping and stuff.
Man.
But I was like,
That was weird.
well, the whole time I'm like, really, bro? This is the way you want your first time with her to go as Wolf?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
I thought that was strange.
You,
But it helped you kind of accept this union. It helped you accept that she was 100% on board with this relationship, knowing what she knows about him. And so on that level, it kind of made sense. Yeah. Visually, you just kind of were a little bit off-put.
How much can Yuki control? Like, how much control do the kids have?
Feels like they had quite a bit.
It feels like they had more control than he did. But again, I guess they're a
he
third.
chose the very moment when he showed her.
Well, he had to be underneath the moonlight. He was like, when we get moonlight, we transform.
That's true.
But I guess maybe,
like,
and then with Ame, he goes full wolf. But Yuki, when she
changes in broad daylight.
Yeah, and when she shows Shohei at the end, she just has like her ears and like a hint of her snout, and that's it. Like she's not covered out in fur or anything like that. It did seem
like they had a little more
So I wonder how much
control.
she can control.
Maybe since he was half wolf,
and they're a third.
Maybe are they? Okay, so maybe that's
no, they would be a fourth.
No, I have no idea.
I don't know how
works.
genetics works.
I'm not into family trees and all that.
I think it would be a fourth because
genealogy.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, what can they... Well, also, with him, I mean, they probably have more ability because Hana was more embracing of their bringing up. Like, with the whole, put your ears in type thing. He wouldn't have had that because he had to live with, his family, the extended relatives that he couldn't tell them that he was a wolf man.
Yeah.
So
there's another moment which I love where they're at school and the new kid arrives, right? And they immediately make eye contact, Yuki and he. I can't remember his name. Shohei. And he sits right behind her, and he's like, so you got like dogs at your house or something?
Like, no.
He's
really?
like, you smell like a dog.
Smell like dog.
I was like, dude, kids are brutally honest.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
But it is kind of cute too, like the whole I've got to be a little girl all the way home type thing.
Yeah.
And she's doing that, totally has a crush on him.
Oh yeah.
And because like that's she doesn't want to transform because I mean, I guess with them it's more emotional. Because when she gets hungry, she turns into a wolf.
When she gets angry,
when they get mad, they turn into wolves. Everything like
true.
that. So maybe for them, it's more emotion based.
So, what do you think about? I'm going to ask you about two other things. The
wolf
that was
did Yuki
captive.
and Shohei totally get together later? Yes, they did.
Oh yeah, you shipped that, did you?
Oh, dang straight,
Shocker. Bro. No, the wolf in captivity.
Yeah.
Like, it almost indicates that he was able to communicate with him eventually, but we don't know.
I think so. Well,
why all of a sudden is he able to communicate with the, what did they call him? The sensei the fox? Like,
I guess they speak animals.
I thought that was interesting. I guess they would speak animal in some way. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. That was huge fox.
He just says, Sensei teaches me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, like, he's basically teaching him how to hunt, teaching him how to jump on boulders and stuff, where all this cool stuff is.
Yeah.
Like, where there's this spring and this dope-looking waterfall that looked totes real.
I sounded really surprised after he told us that Sensei hurt his leg and he thinks he's going to die. We never saw Sensei again. Like, I thought surely he would go up on the mountain and see him and either verify that he was dead or verify that he was going to die or something.
No, man.
But
animal breaks its leg out in the wild.
I guess.
It ain't gonna happen.
I guess.
Especially with all that rain.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad.
A lot of death in this movie.
A lot of death. A lot of random
not
nudity
a lot of death,
in this movie too.
Partial nudity.
There's
no actual nudity. Like,
well,
lower back.
Hana's breastfeeding at one point.
Yeah.
And Ame coughs.
Right. Oh, you zeroed in on that, did you?
Well, no, I watched.
I didn't notice
that. it's during the part where Yuki is telling us that Ame was sickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, towards the very beginning, he's like, and you're like, oh, okay, well, there we go.
Right. So, second half of the movie is basically the kids choosing their paths.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest struggle that Hana has to go through is watching Ami choose to basically be full-on wolf. And her trying to still protect him somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, when she tries to go and find him in that epic storm,
oh, it's sad.
You're just like, I mean, at some point you're like, this is futile. You're in this endless wilderness. How are you going to find him?
You're basically on the side of a nature reserve.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to find him.
Well, and then there's that incredibly tense moment when
the bear
stumbles upon the bear. I thought, this is it. I mean, this has to be it.
Well, the first time I watched it, I was like, if that bear goes towards her, I'm hoping Ami in
that's what I was
thinking
too.
Jumps in.
That's
and was
the exact thing I thought. What went through my mind is bear's going to attack, Ami's going to jump in, Ami's going to die because he can't take on a bear.
I know he's a wolf.
He can't take on a bear.
Have you not seen Balto?
Yeah, you can't take on a bear. Would be beat by a wolf pack, but not by a wolf.
And does he fight a bear?
Never seen Balto.
I think he fights a Kodiak, maybe.
Never seen Balto.
Well, then what are you talking? Don't diss Balto, bro.
I'm talking about wolves. I'm not dissing him.
He's a wolf.
I'm not dissing him. Yeah, but wolves, their strength is their pack. He's a lone wolf. He couldn't take on a bear by himself.
He may have could have maybe not in a fight.
Right.
But maybe if he pounced on it, pushed it over a bit, then do a snarl teeth thing.
Yeah, just knock over that bear.
Well, bear may be like, I got cubs. And I got to deal with this right now. Leave.
That's exactly why the bear would deal with it right now. They get most ferocious when they're protecting their cubs.
Well, here's the thing. If Ame moves towards Hana, why are we talking about this?
It never happened.
It doesn't happen.
But this is where our minds went, Josh. It's where our minds went. I'm glad it didn't go that way, but it was almost worse that she fell down the side of the mountain.
Yeah, but he does honestly save her and bring her back.
Yeah, but I didn't realize, when he carried her down and laid her in that parking lot, I was like, I mean, why are you laying her there? She's dead. I thought she was dead.
Nah, she's fine.
The first time you watched it, did you think she was still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, I was fully convinced she was dead.
Oh no, dude, they wouldn't kill anybody like that.
Why not? They killed everybody else. They killed her husband like that. It was terrible. I was surprised. I thought for sure she was dead. I was glad that she wasn't, but it was kind of weird.
What her husband says, I can't remember his name. What her husband says to her during her dream, which, Thierry, was he's found his path.
Right.
If he wouldn't have bothered saying that if she was dead, I think it would have been come on, let's go.
Right.
And then they go off and they live together.
See, I feel like that dream, when that started playing out, I thought, oh, she's in heaven, basically, and she's now back with her love, and
Do you
she's
think
going to have to realize that she's dead.
Do you think at the beginning of the movie she died?
Because
it is
at
her.
what point?
Like when Yuki starts telling her the story, and starts telling the story, and we have that moment, and it's the same thing, and she runs up and they embrace. It's like in that same dream sequence world.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe?
But what was happening in the actual story at that point? I can't remember.
She's
it
saying,
starts in that point.
that's how they start.
Oh.
You think maybe she's telling the story now after her mom died?
Yeah, I think it's
ambiguous. It doesn't.
I mean, at the very
it doesn't
end,
matter.
She's
anything.
kind of concluding the story, and she's talking about her mom in the present tense. She's saying she still lives there, and she's still happy. So I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could have done it that way, but like Sixth Sense, like she was dead the whole time. I don't.
She was dead the whole time. There were no wolves. It's all a dream.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay, so what do you think of the animation?
Fantastic. I had some issues with some of the character design when they had their wolfy faces on. It got a little
sometimes the wolves look weird,
cartoony.
Yeah,
and
when
there were moments
when he
where
transforms first time, it's really kind of cool. And then until he gets to like his muzzle and everything, you're like, okay, that seems a little bit more elongated than it should be.
No, I thought he was perfect. It was the kids that I had a problem with, because they would be prancing through some hyper realistic, beautiful background, and their faces would end up being a little cartoony to me.
Yeah.
I get that they were kind of going for a puppy look, or like a wolf cub look, but that's the only minor little thing that I kind of was like, I would have made it a little more realistic in those cases. And it was a little weird that their clothes just turned into like capes. I thought that was
suspension
weird.
Of disbelief.
I guess. But then when they transfer back, they'd sometimes be naked. So there was kind of some inconsistency with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other
than that, I mean, that's like, the spots were in a different place on the Dalmatians. Sometimes.
Well, here's the thing. That's a legitimate strategy.
It is.
Actually, the collars is the thing that bothered me. Was the collars on the Dalmatians. Well, but here's the thing. Like when they transformed and they were naked, they didn't actually have clothes on. The only when they were running through the snow, they just had scarves. And when Yuki saves Ame, they're both still just wearing the scarves. Well,
yeah, but then when they have that fight in the house, like he's basically stark naked when he's done.
So because their clothes came off, you kind of see it. They're running around as wolves.
I guess so.
As wolves.
It was an interesting approach to the problem. But that was minor. Other than that, like I really liked the character design. I loved the environment design and the cityscapes. The attention to detail in so many of these anime feature films is just incredible.
Did you like the rain?
The textures, the rain was incredible in this one.
When it's coming
it was
off
even
of her
better,
house,
I thought, than it was in Your Name, which Your Name was impressive, but the rain in this one was phenomenal.
Looks really, really good.
It was
like
so
when
good.
It's dancing on the spider webs and everything. And we'll watch it again. When Yuki and Shohei are in the classroom, and you have the window, there's the little bitty drops of water on everything,
water,
and you'll see like a bead of water do that thing where it like snakes down, and it'll hit another bead, and that one will splinter off, and you're like, what? And at one point, I was watching this one bit, and I was like, that part's not going to move. Piece of rain hits it, moves, and I was like, what?
Yeah, the attention to
the
detail is
crazy.
Yeah. It really is. There's so many great shots of, landscapes where everything in that entire landscape is being affected by the wind. And, they did a great, again, this is another example of how the Japanese they just decided we're going to make CG work with 2D in a seamless way. And they figured it out, and they've been nailing it movie after movie now. The CG in this, indistinguishable. It is so incredible.
There's a couple parts. Whenever you have like background, and this happens a lot. It happened a little bit in Your Name, but it wasn't as noticeable. But whenever she's like wherever they're in Tokyo, and she's walking to class, you see those background characters. They're all they're all CG.
Yeah.
She's still
It's
drawn,
weird.
or it looks, and they look weird. They look like they kind of came out of Ruby.
Yeah. This
and
is
you're
what's
like,
weird.
okay.
This is what's weird because this is a cool kind of difference between me and you. During those scenes, I was only looking at buildings and textures on buildings and signs, and you're looking at the people. So that is fascinating to me because in the environment, everything I felt was perfect. But yeah, I can't even remember seeing any other people.
Yeah, I'm more interested in people.
That's interesting. It had to be better than what was it Ruby, where all the people were just silhouettes? Oh god.
Well, in that it's kind of cool too because you're like, these people don't matter. It's kind of like in like where like when our main character, he gets off the train from the country and he arrives in Akihabara. Everybody is silhouetted. Mm-hmm. There's nobody, because it's basically his own world,
right?
And nobody else really matters. So they're just all black silhouettes until it's somebody that he meets. When he meets his best friend, color, and other people that he meets that are going to be impactful, they're all in color.
Yeah. And
slowly, everything kind of goes to color. Like when his world opens up, but when he's still kind of like that introvert, everything's black.
Yeah.
And that
can
it's
be
really
a cool
cool.
stylistic
it's a
choice.
Cool, yeah, it's real. I like it. I dig it.
Well, when I watch Wolf
but there's
Children
still that
again,
one person who walks by and she's not silhouetted, but we still haven't, because she's full color too, and this is still during the silhouette part, and I don't know who she is. I don't think they're gonna address it. I think it was just
what are we talking about again?
Forget it. What were we talking about? I really like the part where they're running through the snow. Like whenever they're wolves and they're running through, and it looks like they put it looks like they took like a dog and were like, we're gonna put a GoPro on your head, run through the forest, and it's and it looks so cool, so
that
real.
Was
it's
all
really
CG
nifty.
Though, all that like fast moving through those landscapes with trees like whipping by,
zigzags and everything.
Gorgeous.
It's really cool,
and it did not catapult me out of that 2D experience. They have just mastered it. They're so good at it, and I love it, every second of it. And that whole snow scene was pretty fun. I mean, 100% impractical for them to be like surfboarding down a slope of snow with their paws.
Have you ever surfed down snow with your paws?
I grew up in the mountains, dude. You can't just through a field of powder. I mean, you're just going to sink into it and just like kind of come to a stop. You're not going to be able to.
Have you rolled down a hill, somehow found your momentum again, and then surfed down,
snowboard for a second, and then tumble a little more?
Like Tony Hawk your way down?
No, but in animation, that's one of those great things because you can pull that off. You can just do it because why not? And I love that scene. It's a beautiful scene.
Did the music stick to you at all?
Oh my gosh, I love the soundtrack in this.
I never.
It's another piano-driven soundtrack, which I really, really love. It had this poignancy to it that really lent itself to the bittersweet nature of the story itself, and yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. Like it's another one that I would buy and listen to. The only
music
gorgeous.
I remember is like we have the bit at the end. And then we have the chase through the snow. That's the only kind of bit that like really sticks out to me,
right?
Because I'm more interested in the story and the characters than
right. Yeah. So Josh, why does this movie make you cry?
Dude,
come on,
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
When she meets her husband again, that was extremely sad.
But that's like happy sad.
Yeah, but it's still sad though.
Yeah.
And then when AniMay goes off and she's like pleading with him, it hurts too.
Yeah.
In fact, so
see, I found all of that very touching and very moving, but to me it wasn't.
Josh after he had watched.
Sad Josh face.
Very sad.
You took a picture of your cry face.
Yeah, because I was
That's hilarious.
I was like, so Gavin will know that I cried.
Oh, I know you cried, man. And that's awesome. I have no problem with crying during films. I cry during Cars sometimes. But, for example, that's kind of a perfect example because Cars touches me in a very particular way that I haven't met anybody else who Cars moves in the same way that it moves me. It hits me in that perfect little
Maybe if you meet John Lasseter.
tear maker button. Oh, if I ever meet John Lasseter, the only thing I'm going to say to him is thank you for Cars and Cars Land.
He's going to be like, I hate Cars.
No, it's one of his favorites. He was very personally invested in that film. But this one hits you in a very particular way, and it didn't hit my cry button. I was like, oh, man, that's rough. That sucks that he died in that canal. And that's hard on this mom that has done so much work. I mean, she worked her butt off.
It's
to
also
raise
another
these
one of
kids.
those being raised by a single mom.
That makes sense.
And
I
you
can't
see
relate to that.
Yeah, and you see that and you're like, dang, my mom did a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and it helps you have a huge appreciation for
I'm not a wolf, but...
And for single parents especially. But
I mean,
it didn't hit me
all the stuff
personally.
that she does, like, she goes and basically repurposes that entire house.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, dang.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely couldn't do that.
Interestingly, I was continually reminded of My Neighbor Totoro because it's basically, there's a lot of similar plot points to it, and it's basically a single parent moves to the country with 2 little kids, and they have a house that looks almost exactly like that. And
there is a cool little Easter egg to one of the moms from Summer Wars.
Mm-hmm. Who's one of the young moms?
No, I don't know if she's one of the young moms. I didn't catch that bit, but one of the moms that goes in towards the end when all the parents are picking their kids up from the gym. Mm-hmm. She comes in there. You only saw it the one time. Do you remember the mom the whole time who's watching the baseball?
Mm-mm.
In Summer Wars?
Oh, in Summer Wars.
Summer Wars,
I definitely don't.
She's one of the moms that comes through, and I'm like, or looks remarkably like her.
Nice.
Like, has the same ponytail in the back. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's totally the mom from Summer Wars.
Right.
So a little continuity there.
I like it. It's like Belle showing up in Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Sure, I suppose.
It is.
Yeah, right, sure. Yeah, sure, you bet your prof. All right, so Gavin, what are you going to give this movie?
This one's tough. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's perfect. I have my criticisms of it, but they're very small. I love this director, man. I'm excited to watch Summer Wars again. I'm going to pull the trigger on 5 Jiminy Crickets.
Oh my goodness, 5?
It's really freaking good. I really adored it.
Well, it was a 5 for me going in, and it's a 5 for me coming out, because that's how I know something is good, when I don't want to watch it again. when I remember
Which is the opposite of most people.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. When I remember so much of it that I know if I watch this, I will cry. It's good. That's weird, but I don't care.
I got you.
I know the movie from again like one viewing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I got this.
It is a movie that sticks with you.
Yeah.
It really does, and I was.
I mean, it sticks
impressed.
with me for more reasons than like Zootopia. Like I've seen Zootopia, who knows how many times, but this one, and like I know every bit of Zootopia, and after seeing this movie once, I knew everything about it because like it invested me so much.
Yeah,
and yeah, so yeah, definitely a 5.
Nice.
All right,
good pick, dude.
You ready for this?
Let's do it, man. Let's do a top 5.
A little top 5.
And now for another top 5.
All right, so for this top 5, we decided to go with our top 5 anime heroines.
Yep.
So I think I get to go first this time.
Is it? I don't remember. It's been
I
so
think
long since I've been here. I don't remember.
So for my number 5, I went with from Cowboy Bebop, like that red mist thing that the guy sprays in his eye. Yeah. I was trying to make a heroin joke, like a drug joke, and not like a heroin joke.
Where are you going with this?
No, yeah, it was gonna be weird.
Nice.
Like Ketracel White. You got that reference, Ketracel. You remember Ketracel White?
I do.
All right. No, that's my number.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. Drugs banned. My number 5, I went with Revy from Black Lagoon.
Okay, that's the series I haven't watched.
Yes. But I talk
do you like Revy?
I talk about Black Lagoon a lot.
Yeah, you have mentioned it a lot.
Because she's BA.
Okay.
And I love her.
Is she like a fighter?
Yes, she's a fighter.
You like how I did a pose where I said
you're
fighter?
Very Chun-Li of you. But yeah, she's a fighter. She's a BA. She says whatever's on her mind. But she does have a softer side, which she does open up to Rock. Mm-hmm. Not the Rock, but Rock. He's cool. Wears a tie.
Nice.
But yeah, so she is a complex character because like, if you read the manga and even a little bit in the anime, you get her backstory and you're like, oh geez, you've had it really rough.
Yeah. Like
raised in New York and like not in like good New York.
Oh, it's set in America?
No.
Oh.
But a lot of the characters are like American or half American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's set in like fake Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I find it interesting that a lot of the anime that I've watched, the female characters are little girls. And like the one we watched tonight, I mean, one of the main characters, Yuki, is a little girl the whole time. So how
many little girls did you pick, Gavin?
There's a couple little girls here.
Do I have any little girls?
On that note,
we're going weird here.
I think we've got 2 young girls. Well, 3 really. I don't know how old one of them is.
This is weird. Okay,
this
anyway.
Is weird. Doesn't matter how old
How many little girls do you like, Gavin?
From my favorite Ghibli movie, I'm going with Satsuki from My Neighbor Totoro. She's the older of the 2 daughters, and she's just the cutest, most delightful, like free-spirited, just, enthralled with this new world that they've moved to, and I just enjoy watching her every time I watch that movie. And hopefully soon we will get to show you that movie so you can see what I'm talking about. I think having watched this, like, you'll know, oh, this is your pick?
That's Revy.
Oh, she kind of looks like Laura Croft.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So
I can tell you weren't listening to me at all because
you
were
was
just
listening.
looking
You like the little girl from My Little Totoro, but then you kind of stopped.
My Little Totoro?
My Little Totoro.
My Little Tater. All right, go.
I'm thinking about doing like an Studio Ghibli themed, restaurant. My Little Totoro.
Totoro Tots.
My Little Tatoros better. For my number 4, I went with San.
Nice.
From Princess Mononoke.
Excellent.
Mainly because she has a cool mask.
Yeah, I feel like she's super iconic.
And Ashitaka.
Kata.
Taka.
You say kata, I say taka.
Yeah, well, because Taka is correct. So,
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, San is amazing. I feel like she's really one of the iconic anime heroines because like cosplayers do her all the time and you see fan art of her all the time. Just such an easily and instantly recognizable look where I feel like so many of the anime characters end up looking kind of similar. I feel
especially in the Ghibli universe.
Yeah, I mean, in all of it, really. I just feel like that particular character design is so iconic.
Exactly, and I would argue that Ashitaka is the main character,
right,
in Princess Mononoke. But
she's the most compelling.
She's the most compelling, and she's like the face of it. Mm-hmm. Because if you look at anything that's like Princess Mononoke, it's always San, and usually San in her cool little mask.
Yeah,
her like Majora's Mask type thing, and that's 90% of the stuff that you're gonna find on her. And like whenever you talk Princess Mononoke, or whenever they release a shirt or anything like that, it's San and a wolf. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that stupid deer thing.
The forest spirit?
Guardian of the Forest.
Guardian of the Forest. Whatever. I think he's amazing.
I think he's stupid.
He
looks
cool.
so dumb.
No, he's so
cool. He looks so stupid.
He looks awesome.
It looks like he was a deer and then someone like took a frying pan like hit him in
he's
the face.
He's like one of those mythological characters
and
where
then
he's
when he
like
gets shot,
parts
he
of
has
a bunch
that
of animals.
Stupid look on his face like, dude, like he got shot.
Well,
so
because
dumb.
who would ever think of shooting him? You don't shoot the Guardian of the Forest.
I love that movie, but he's so stupid.
Fantastic. You're wrong. Back to me.
Fine. Yeah, whatever.
All right, my number 4 is none other than
San from Princess Mononoke.
the mother of mothers from tonight's movie, Hana.
Nice.
I loved her character. I didn't really talk about her that much because I knew I was going to put her on this list. but she is she's the central character in the story, really, and she just drives this story. Just watching her strength and her courage and her undying love for her husband and then for her kids. Just fantastic. And the way they portray it is just great. The voice acting was superb. The character design, she's just such a lovely woman. Mm-hmm. I love everything about Hana. She is one of my favorite anime characters.
She's definitely up there with favorite animated moms.
Yeah.
Animated moms, she's like number one. I mean, it'd be hard to put anybody above her. I mean, what she does for her kids and everything, and you're like, oh my gosh.
I agree. She's way up there.
All right, so for my number 3, a little anime that you do know.
Okay.
I went with Asuka Langley Sohyu from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Okay. See, this has become a recurring theme where...
Of Evangelion?
Yeah, not just of Evangelion, but the fact that I have a vague recollection of Evangelion. I watched it about 13 years ago now, and I just have kind of vague names and images left in my head as far as memory goes. I remember really, really, really liking it, but I don't have enough of a memory to include any of them on any ranked lists. I need to rewatch that series.
It's definitely good. I mean,
it's hardcore.
I've got the movies, which are kind of like a quick little
you
jumble.
Tell me about those. That's kind
They're
of
not
weird,
bad. They're not bad.
Yeah.
My problem is they take out my favorite episode in the series.
Lame.
When they combine it, so it kind of sucks. And then you don't even get Asuka, who's the best character, like the best of the female characters, until the second movie. And you're like, oh, okay. So just got dopey, depressed Ray the whole movie. That's great.
You're really selling it here, man.
Well, in the first one, it's like, what do we have? We have Shinji, who's depressed and doesn't want to get in the robot, and then we've got Ray, who's depressed all the time and is in love with his dad.
To be fair, it is a depressing premise.
I mean, I guess if you consider the fact that he's has a semi he has a crush on the clone version of his mom, then yeah.
Also, the fact
that his dad totally does stuff too.
Epic
It's
angels
weird.
keep coming down and trying to destroy their entire world.
Yeah,
it's a little depressing.
It happens.
Yeah,
he chokes Asuka at the end. It's really kind of weird.
Man, we messed up.
Then there's
Japan.
that scene in the hospital. That's definitely weird. Anyway, what?
Is it back to me?
Yeah,
my number 3? All right. So from another anime series, which we both know and love.
I would assume these are all anime.
From a series that we both know and love. None other than Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Faye.
Another
Edward.
Faye.
Oh.
I love Faye. I think she's the epitome of just a cool chick.
She's
I like
cool,
her a
but
lot.
she's not really. For me, she's not really heroine material.
I like her.
She's totally BA, but that's like I didn't put spoilers. I didn't put Makoto Misaka. Well, that's wrong. I didn't put Misaka Ackerman from Attack on Titan on my list because she's super BA, but she just doesn't have a personality. She's like totally robotic.
Faye's not robotic.
I know, but here's the thing: she's more personality than she is like BA-ness, which I guess doesn't really matter.
I mean, really, we're picking female characters. We're not like defining like their roles. Really. You always are. You always have your own set of rules for everything.
Always.
Which is why you always have an argument for everything.
Yeah. But no, I do like Faye. I like Edward better than Faye.
I mean, Edward's a great character and entertaining, but to me, Faye is just she's just
tomboy
so cool.
ever.
She's just so cool, man. Like, I'm not cool enough to hang out with Faye. You're not either.
No one's cool enough to hang. Spike and Jet aren't even cool enough. That's why she leaves half the series.
Does.
She's just like, hey guys.
Even in the movie, she's doing her own thing.
Yeah,
thing.
she like busts in. She's like, hey guys, I'm gonna take a shower. Don't come in. Then she's like, all right, I gotta leave. Bye. That's it.
That's so true.
So we're eating beef and bell peppers, or bell peppers and beef. It's like. And it's like, where's the beef? It's like, it's just bell peppers. It's like, well, when you get it, never mind. My number 2, I went with, she's in 2 anime. She's in a certain scientific railgun.
And a certain something else.
And, no, wait. Yeah, a certain scientific railgun and a certain magical index. She's the ace of Tokyo Dai, which is a all-girls, like, super...
That's her title?
Story. She's the ace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's, I believe, ranked number 4 in all of Academy City. None other than Makoto Misaka.
Mm-hmm.
And that's this girl.
Oh.
Notice that she wears shorts underneath her skirt because she's totes a tomboy.
And she's totes like showing all of it. So yeah, better wear shorts.
And she controls electricity.
Ooh.
And can basically do whatever she wants with it. So
Wow.
she has a railgun ability where she takes a quarter, flips it up, can, flick it from there, and then it turns into like a railgun, so like this super projectile.
Wow.
That'll just blow through anything except for Toma Kamajo.
Did you watch Angel?
Yeah.
Who's the electric girl in Angel?
I know who you're talking about. I do not
She
remember
was
her
awesome.
name. She was only in like 2 episodes, though.
I know, but she was so cool.
Didn't they kill her?
No. I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe they killed people that were on her team.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I know
for
who you're
some
talking
reason
about.
that girl leaped into my head. And I
Was
like,
that the final? Was that
And
when
then
they
there
were?
was
Was that when they
also
were
the,
working for Wolfram and Hart, or was that the season before they were working for Wolfram and Hart?
It was late. It was either 4 or 5. I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's a fantastic
Wesley,
show.
my boy.
Oh, Wesley.
Except go.
All right, my number 2.
Yeah.
All right, enough Angel. So this, I believe, well, I don't know what your top one is. But this may be our only crossover.
Doubtful.
So I'm going with Princess Mononoke herself, San, because again, I feel like she's so cool. She's got such a neat look about her. She's so iconic.
Oh,
She's
you're number 1.
You don't know what it is?
I hope
Do you know
not.
what it is?
I hope not. But go ahead. Sorry, she's
You
so
don't
iconic.
know what it is. Anyway, San. I mean, we've already talked about San, so.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
You have page after page?
Not a bunch of page.
Okay.
I went with Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titan, Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail, Usagi Tsukimo from Sailor Moon, Rukia Kuchiki from Bleach, and Celti Sturluson from and then Faye Valentine from Bebop.
Nice.
And then my roommate put Issei from High School DxD on there, but Issei's a boy. And
Batman.
I think he read it wrong because Issei, he wants to be like a harem king. And I think he
maybe thought it was top haremites.
But I think he thought maybe heroes, or he meant to put Rias Grimory, who is the main chick.
Or he was just screwing around with you, which is the most likely.
This is also very true.
Yeah.
What do you got?
All right, so my honorable mentions are Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, Tima, the girl robot character from Metropolis. Remember her, little blonde girl?
Oh, Padma. Padma would be good.
Padma's on my honorable mentions.
Okay, sorry.
Yep, and then Chihiro from Spirited Away.
Chihiro's really good.
She's awesome. Yeah. So, all right, dude, you're number 1.
I was trying to find a good picture for you. There we go. That'll work.
You always have to do this because all of your picks are always things that nobody else has seen.
I went with Artoria.
Is she a knight?
From Fate Zero. Yes, she is literally King Arthur.
Oh.
Her
is that
name
Excalibur?
Yes.
Ooh.
And she is called Saber.
Nice.
But yeah, she is Artoria.
That's pretty cool. What is she from?
Fate Stay Night.
Oh, you've talked about that.
Or the whole
before.
Fate series. She's in all of them.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she's super dope.
Nice.
She's right up there. Like, favorite girls in that series, she's number 2. But as a heroine who's like strong, embodies everything that a heroine should be, she's definitely at the top.
Okay.
I like Rin a lot better than I like her. I mean, if I was gonna, choose who Shiro was gonna get with, it was gonna be Rin. Then if something happened with Rin, then it would be Saber number 2. But
are you now on to ranking ships right now?
Oh god, I can't rank ships.
I mean, that sounds like what you're doing.
Yeah, but yeah, Saber, she's totally BA,
Okay.
and she's blonde, and she's English. It's like a quad win. She's got a sword, bro.
So all of yours are basically like traditional heroine definitions. Like they're all like warriors or fighters or heroes in some way, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
All of them.
See, and I don't know
strong
enough.
women.
I do too. And I just haven't watched enough of those types of anime to have a long enough list.
There are a lot of really good female anime characters.
Yeah.
That
That's
I really,
basically
really
what
like.
I was ranking.
But, and I've also seen way more anime than you.
Way,
if I was going to if we were going to do my top, shut up. If we were going to do my top 5 female anime characters.
Way more.
Thank you. Top 5 anime female characters, then some of these probably wouldn't be on the list. Probably the majority of them would not be on the list.
Right.
But as, heroines, or heroines, or Halloweens, they've made my list because they are strong. They are, we'll stop there.
To be fair, all of mine are strong too because my favorite female characters are strong female characters.
Yeah.
So I like the strength.
Who do you got for your number 1, Gavin?
You seemed like you had a guess earlier. Who do you think it is?
I'm hoping you prove me wrong, so just go ahead and do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going with Mitsuha from Your Name. I freaking love her.
That's
She
really
is
good. I thought you were going to do that stupid
amazing.
little android chick from Metropolis.
She was in my honorable mentions. You clearly weren't listening.
I was trying to find a picture of Saber.
You never listened to me. Yeah. So Mitsuha from Your Name, who...
That's really good. I didn't think about Your Name.
Adore her. Well, honestly, look at my list. See how all of these are scribbled out? That's because I had it filled out down to there, and then I remembered Your Name, and I had to move all of them down to put her at the top.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Your Name.
Yeah, I think that those two characters are dynamite. They are such solid, phenomenal characters, and I can't decide between the two of them, which is my favorite, but from...
The little sister.
The little sister's a spitfire. I like her. But I kind of feel like it might be Mitsuha, and I love that movie so much. I can't wait to own it.
Well, you spend a lot of time in her body.
Yeah, I feel like we probably do spend more time with her because we have to do that whole arc where she's trying to save the town too. So, and that's pretty heroic what she does there, and I love that dance that she does, she performs. It's one of the most graceful animated things I've ever seen.
Making that sake.
I love it, man.
Totally makes that sake too. You're like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a crush on her. She's something else.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my number 1, dude.
She's also 3 years older than he is, which is really it's.
Yeah, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's not.
No, yeah, it doesn't matter. Fun. But it's one of those, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. When you're in like middle school, that's a big deal. When you're in your mid-20s, that's done being a big deal.
Yeah, once you're, in the job market trying to find a job,
yeah,
you're like,
it ceases to be a deal. Yeah.
They're out of high school, it's totally fine.
Right. Agreed.
All right. That was a good top 5.
I think you did a good job. I think we went at it at different angles, which is our usual, par for the course. But we were in the same realm this time, and we had some crossover, so that was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
All right, everybody, remember our giveaway, our anime giveaway.
Our giveaway. You love it. Don't act like you don't love that pun.
I like it, but then I'm also like, every time I say it, it's just, giveaway.
Our giveaway for anime. Our giveaway.
But yeah, we've got that on. Check out our post that we did this last Saturday, where we post some of the stuff that's going to be in it.
Yep. So how do they get in on that again? They just participate, right?
It's super easy. Yeah, you participate.
Yeah, you comment on our posts.
You have to like us and comment on our posts.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't have to do anything special. You don't have to use a special. It's only on Instagram. Unfortunately, we're not doing anything Twitter wise. You don't have to do anything where it's like hashtag anime, hashtag giveaway, anything like that. Just gotta comment on our post.
Participate.
Be
active. Get an entry. That's good. I like that. And
then if
do they get
extras,
any bonus?
Yeah, if you want a bonus entry, tag some of your friends.
Cool. I like it. Help spread the word. We're always growing, and we always want to bring more people into our conversations. So tell your friends. They might like it too.
Mm-hmm. And again, we have that interview with Jade Saxton
coming out this Friday. Yeah. And if you missed it, go back and listen to the interviews with Marissa Lenti.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then, so after
awesome.
Jade, we have Kyle Hebert, who plays Gohan and Kamina.
Yep.
And then after that, like to end it out, we have Robert McCollum.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. We got a great lineup of voice actors for this cool themed month, packed with content. Awesome, dude.
So, Gavin, where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Gavin Otteson Art.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast and on Twitter at Animate Podcast.
You can also find our website, animationstationpodcast.com, and you can listen to our episodes there on the podcast tab.
You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher. I was hoping you would go there.
I figured I'd kick it back to you.
No.
All right.
I don't like being kicked.
Well, sorry,
Don't you
dude.
kick me when I'm down.
And to our listeners everywhere around the world, thank you for tuning in.
Yep.
Yep.
I was thinking, should I pull up the list again? No, I'm
Nah.
pull up the list again.
We're everywhere. It's too long of a list. We're global.
It's very long.
It's so cool.
Shout out to Estonia.
Yes.
What's up, guys?
Shout out to all our listeners. It's so cool.
All right. You done?
I'm done, man.
We got D&D tomorrow, bro.
I know. I'm pumped.
Ooh,
I'm so pumped.
So, I didn't really get to tell you. All right, thanks for listening to the Animation Station Podcast. You guys can leave. I forgot to tell you. So I got to join Corey's.
Yeah.
And we fought it was a ancient black dragon.
Yeah, and you guys almost died.
No. Didn't almost die. It was totally fine.
Okay.
Josh, however, his wonderful character Roxas, who is a dope rogue, level 13 rogue, who's super cool, super skills. Like, I have super attack damage. I get a 7d6, so I get to roll sneak attack. If it hits, I automatically get 7d6 worth of damage.
Whew.
Plus, and that's not even my damage from my sword. That's just automatic damage that I get.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's I was yeah, I gotta get in this. I go up, I do my sneak. He has a higher perception, so he turns around and totally sees me at the very beginning. I'm like, I only get to do one attack on him. So, because I missed my first attack, so my sneak attack damage is gone. But I get him on my second attack, and I get to do 10 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then he flies away and roars, and then my guy gets scared the whole time. Because you have to make a wisdom save for that. Mm-hmm. And I have no wisdom modifiers.
Oh, so you failed.
So the only thing that you could get, the save to not be scared anymore was a 19. Mm-hmm. I rolled 2 18s. And everything else, the 18s were the highest that I got. Mm-hmm. So if I would have had a 1 as a modifier, I would have been fine.
Oh my gosh.
But nothing. So my guy did nothing the rest of the time. He did 10 damage on this thing that had 700.
Eerily reminiscent of the bugbear fight.
Oh yeah, where you just
laid
keep
there
missing.
comatose.
Dude, I did so much damage.
Yeah, but then you're done the rest of the fight.
Yeah, because our wonderful friends decided that they would rather hide or try and do some stupid trap that wasn't going to work.
Well, we will try and have a better influence on them this time.
Yes. All right. Anyway, that was D&D talk.
Nerdcast over.
Yeah, that was Dungeons and Dudes. Dudes and Dungeons?
Dungeons and Dudes.
Dumb, Dumber, and Dungeons. We'll create some stupid podcast for Dungeons and Dragons later.
Cool.
Well, anyway, thank you for listening to the animation. I wonder if anybody stayed.
They tuned out by now.
They tuned out.
No,
I would assume they're all gone. This may be Corey's still here. Hey, Corey. He's probably the only one left. But anyway, funny. Thanks for listening to the Animation Station Podcast. Yes. My name is Josh.
I'm Gavin.
Bye-bye, little butterfly.
Made you look.
Oh, I was going to try and put another one in there to see if you would piggyback off of it.
Yeah, go. Try it.
No.
Okay.
And if you like...
Spin Doctors? Is that where you...
Yeah, man, the Spin Doctors.
Nice.
Do you remember the SNL sketch where they did the dog thing?
No.
And it's Andy Samberg, and he's just one of the dudes from the Spin Doctors. It was doggy. It was doggy duty because it was jury duty, but it was a bunch of dogs, and they had a bunch of the fake people come in and sing.
I didn't see that one.
And he was he does something it's the Spinners. Does anybody remember the Spin Doctors?
They did have 2 hits.
What was the other one?
Pocket Full of Kryptonite.
Oh, the podcast is still going. I don't know why you're getting up. We're still recording.
Oh, sorry. I'll lean back over to my mic. So, what's going on?
Thank you for listening to the Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Animation Station Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Animate Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes. And join the conversation at SecretSuperheroClub.com, where you can connect with our podcast friends, Cloud City Cast, Getting Into Comics, and Shaun of the Gathering.